believe that is a zebra on the ice, Bill.
How did he get on the ice?
Amazing. They still can't get him off the ice. This is crazy. Here comes all the zebras. It's a zoo out there.
You can't do that. Doesn't matter. Get in the box.
Welcome everyone to Chirping Zebras. Maybe we'll all embrace the zebra side.
Welcome everyone to Chirping Zebras, episode 96. Mark Riley alongside Gino Bender Jr. and Josh Dolan, coming to you from Harmon Golf. We're back at Harmon Golf.
Yes, thanks for having us again. This is awesome.
I got my Harmon Golf shirt on. You got the Harmon Golf hat on. And we're so thankful for Harmon Golf and Greg down here and the job they do. Yeah, it's just an incredible place. You got to check it out. We want to thank our sponsors right off the hop. The Referees Crease, your one-stop shop for all your refereeing needs. And also want to thank Damon Financial Services. Damon, for over 24 years, Damon Financial has helped families and business owners grow and protect their wealth with clear, trusted strategies from retirement planning and investments to tax-efficient solutions. They deliver no-nonsense advice and focused on your goals. Call 508-321-2101 today to schedule your appointment and your meeting with Damon Financial, or visit them at damonfinancial.com. I also want to thank Townshend Hockey, who's been with us for a little while, and also want to remind you to like and subscribe on the YouTube. Find us on the social medias, the Instagram, the Facebook, and of course,
the TikTok. Who did it the last two episodes?
Me.
All right.
Yeah.
Josh
How'd
nailed
you do?
it.
All right.
I think I did. Okay.
Nailed the line. It's a tough line.
It is tough
deliver.
line. It's tough.
And then knowing it's coming,
Yeah, like you gotta know when it's gonna hit.
Yeah.
Like you gotta be ready.
Yeah.
Got to be paying attention, and and you do it in a way that not too many people can do
I need
it.
my red mic.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like
Not as easy as it looks.
It's kind of like full
That's a
ride.
big deal. It's
You
a
know,
big
your lines
deal.
in full ride, they weren't easy to deliver.
You just
Timing is everything, right? We Don Gavin last week was just hilarious.
Yeah.
The Godfather of Boston comedy.
Yep.
He was great, and of course we're happy to have you back.
Yes.
After your short hiatus.
hiatus, Christmas break hiatus.
Yeah, the hiatus. I almost said hyenas.
Well, that works.
I don't know why.
Hyena.
That's a town on the
Hyenas.
Cape.
I don't know what the hell I'm doing here. But today's guest, Lou Merloni, sweet Lou, pride of Framingham. Just awesome talking baseball. I mean, hockey's our sport, yes, but baseball.
I love baseball. Baseball is awesome. Football, baseball. Those are the other two sports I really pay attention to. It's awesome.
No, he was
First
awesome.
baseball player we've had on, right? Because we had Tim Cheetah.
Yes, we had Tim Cheetah, MLB ump, longtime MLB ump. But yeah, first Major League ball player we've had on.
Yeah.
And of course from NESN, and you kind of.
It's almost like we got a connection over at NESN.
Yeah.
We've had a few.
Yeah, Delano, Jaffe.
Yep. We're still working on Barry Peterson and Brick.
We have Brick here.
Sophia, we're still trying on.
Yeah.
But
This seems to be
we'll
the
get
I
a
hope
NESN
she didn't see that episode. No.
This is, but Lou was great, and if you like baseball, he had a home run, like the home runs he's hit off of the pitchers,
Right.
Yeah.
Brady Johnson.
just incredible, and your first at bat at Fenway Park as a Boston kid,
Pretty cool.
smacking a 3-run.
I don't think I
was
knew
just
that.
amazing.
That was a pretty cool story to hear.
Yeah, and I forgot about the one off Randy Johnson. I remember that one because he's a guy that you root for because he's local
a Boston guy. Yeah.
You gotta love the local guys. So, without further ado, we're gonna jump to our discussion with Lou Merloni. Lou Merloni, welcome to the Zebras. We're so happy to have you here.
Appreciate it. I never really got along with umps. No, I always did. Referees, I had a good relationship with them, I like to think, for the most part.
Well, you're the first baseball player we've had on,
Yep.
but we did have Tim Cheetah on.
Yes.
Longtime MLB ump, and he
Great
seemed
guy.
like he was easy to get along with.
He's a great guy.
Yeah.
I think most of them are, I think in my experience, I've always, but I don't know, like I've had some umpires come up to me in games like, hey, what's the deal with this guy? Like a rookie maybe?
Yeah, right.
I'm at second base and the base umpire is like, hey, what's the deal with so-and-so? I'm like, good guy, why? I'm not sure I like him. Because maybe something happened when he was hitting early in his career and they just want to find out like about these people, like individually. So I've always had great relationships. Maybe middle of the infield, I always had an umpire right behind me. But yeah, they're definitely trying to figure guys out, especially early in their careers.
Well, we did that. I did that in pros all the time, right? Like if a kid being a shit disturber, he's not a captain, right? And you grab the captain, you have a good relationship with the captain, you know them by the first name, you're like, hey, go tell 16 to cut the crap, or you know, and then the next thing you know, 16's coming out, tapping you on the shit. Hey, sorry about that. I didn't mean to give you any lip. And I'm like, see, keep your mouth shut.
And that's what it is too. It's like, you know, the guy in question might actually, you know who it was? It was Brian Daubach.
Oh yeah.
Who was like my boy, and I love Daubach. I'm like, oh, great guy. He's like, well, he's always bitching about the zone. You know what I mean? My zone the other day, and it's not just, that's the thing you guys probably know. It's not just one umpire and one crew.
Yeah, right.
You know, next thing you know, and I'm like, no. I'm like, he's a good guy. I mean, I'll never forget that. So it was, but they're always trying to figure guys out. So that's one thing. You know, I do a lot of youth sports now with my kid. I'm like, okay, how to talk to umpires.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's some, you know, ball outside and they're screaming at the umpire. I'm like, do you think he's going to give that to you next time up? Or, you know, is that as far as you're going to go? Yep, sounds good. You know, now they got so much video that a guy comes up to the next at bat and the umpire might, I've had that before too. Did you take a look at it? Because he rung me up on a pitch, the at bat before. Yeah, I did. It was off. All right, you know, my bad. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. No one's perfect. Right. And that's how it should be.
Human nature, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like, it's not personal. It's just like, hey, I messed up. Yeah, I owe you.
And that was like, I played too before instant replay. So when, like, you know, I hit a ball in the dirt, guy makes a great play, I'm running to first base, I know I hit that bag, and the guy rings me up. I can't challenge it. You know, now in baseball, you can challenge it, and I can get that hit. And I remember you just feel like the guy stole something from you. And the emotional, especially at a big league level, in a big game at Fenway Park, you're sort of like, I can't do anything about this. Like, we can't change it. No umpire's ever changed their mind. You know what I mean? So do I let this guy have it? Like, I just go back to the dugout. Like, I'm out. What can you do? Right? Like, it's not going to make it any better. You know, maybe down the road in a month or two, maybe you get one. In baseball, I always feel like things even out.
Yeah,
162 games.
I was going to say, you play a lot.
I think it's sports in general, right? If you're playing, your team should be 1 or 2 calls better than the other team. Because, like, they're going to get 1 or 2 going the other way, 1 or 2 are going to come back this way.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's just in any type of sport.
Yeah, very, very rarely. I know people, you know, Red Sox fans will watch a Red Sox game and they'll think that the guy's out to get them. Right. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, the other fan base is thinking the same thing. Right. You know, I'm like, home plate umpire's bad. Just be consistent bad. You know, just be both sides or whatever it is.
I did that in college, like, so like, oh, the conference over there, they're screwing us when we go over that conference, and I go, that's just poor officiating. Yeah. I don't think they go, oh, the Reds playing today, let me put my arm up extra. Right. Like, no, it's just.
And I don't know. I don't know how you guys feel about it too, but like when I play, I felt like it was more. There were more veterans. Now the game is so young, but the veterans would get calls. You know, like there'd be pitchers. Like everybody always joked about, you know, Glavine. You know, and he would get like 6 inches off the outside corner. But the thing was, he just kept hitting it. You know what I mean? Like there's a reason why he was getting it. Like he would hit the corner, then keep going, but he just kept hitting it. And the guy was a Hall of Famer. And the umpire would give it to him because, like, you know, the guy's a Hall of Famer, and he's shown that he can keep doing that. Right. So you're a veteran, used to get some calls here and there. The veteran hitter used to get some calls here and there. Now I feel like the game is so young that sometimes I think they just
and also I
call
think
it straight.
Like you said, relationships too, right? I think a lot of the time is these young players even the young umps aren't having that relationship that you probably have with, you know, talking to them. Everybody's on their phones and texting and this and that. Like these relationships, I bet you guys aren't going out socializing as much anymore. Like that's where you made some relationships with these umps and players and things like that.
Yeah, and I
think
there's
a lot of factors involved there.
I think too, like it's always. I think at some point you got to take a step back and realize how hard the job is.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's like baseball seems like a very slow sport, right? Yeah. Until you think about a home plate umpire watching some guy throw a 97 that has one pitch that goes like this, one pitch that goes this way, one pitch that goes this way, a curveball that goes up and down, and he's making the call, and he doesn't know what's coming. Right? The catcher knows what's coming. So he sees a ball that starts up, he knows it's a curveball, whatever. These guys don't know what's coming. You know, play at first base is bang, bang. We can slow it up and make it look obviously bad, but it's still a difficult call. You know, that's why I've heard some people in baseball talk about, you know, they got these pitch comms for the catchers, and they just sort of communicate. Like put one in an umpire's ear.
So he
behind
knows
him.
what's coming.
So if you know what's coming, I think your zone will be better.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
So the ump would know what the pitcher's throwing.
the pitcher's going to throw a curveball. All right, I'm not going to give up on it. Like when I see the ball up, I'm not going to be like ball, and also you're like shit, I missed it.
Right.
You know, but there's other problems there because then I do believe some umpires will. There's so much technology, they'll tip.
Oh, yeah.
They'll tip. Yeah. They'll know. They'll all of a sudden it'll be like this. Teams will start scouting umpires.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, like, oh, this guy, when he knows a curveball's coming, he's getting lower. Or when he knows a fastball's coming, he's standing up taller. You know, like, so it's difficult. But
That's interesting. That's how like you're stealing signs almost through the umpire.
well,
right?
that's
Yeah.
they do it through the catcher receiving balls. They would do it with the umpires, but the game is so fast now. Guys are throwing 100. Everyone's throwing 100.
Yeah.
And everything is moving left, right, up, and down. And this guy's back there trying to figure out if it crossed the plate or not. So,
Yeah.
you know, they're good at it. They're good at it.
Robot umps.
Yeah. No.
I hate it. I don't want it. I love the human element of the game, and it would ruin it.
Yeah,
it would absolutely ruin it.
I don't want it. They're going to come with this challenge system next year, the
Yeah.
ABS. They're going to use that.
Yeah.
Where a team gets a couple, and they've experimented with it. I saw it in spring training because some ballparks had it in their at their stadium, and it was good. It was quick. You know, it's like ball. He thinks it's a strike. The catcher will go like this. Umpire, boom, gets a tap. It was a strike. You know, like it's pretty quick.
Yeah.
But you get 2 challenges a game. The robot umps. The interesting thing is that a guy, I remember it was Nick Pavetta, I think, last year did a rehab start. And in AAA, they always messed with it.
Right.
So one day a week, they did just straight robot umps, you know, where they just called the plate. And Pavetta wasn't getting anything. Like, you know, and I think pitchers don't want any part of it.
No.
Because they're going to get a little bit off.
Yeah.
They should. They get a little bit off, a little bit down, a
Yeah.
little bit up. And if it's just the dish, like just the strike zone,
Swing the bat.
yeah, I don't think pitchers will like it. Plus, it's, you know, I'm at the plate, Judge is at the plate. What's his strike zone?
Yeah,
What's my
right.
strike zone? So I don't like the robot ump. The challenge system, I think, would be good.
Now the challenge system. Now when they're doing it, is it like the live or is it that animated like tennis does? Like
Animated.
the ball's out here.
Yeah, it'll be animated.
Like how accurate do you believe in that?
Yeah, it's and they actually put it up on the screen in some of the games, so the fans kind of get involved a little bit. Like they say, oh, across the plate, and next thing you know, strike. It doesn't take too long, but you're right. Like, how accurate is everything? But it's I think that'll be good. It just gives them a couple.
It gives them like reassurance almost than anything. But like to me,
Umpires will hate it.
Like I'm looking at even like the betting world, right? Like hey, we need like even in football, hey, we need that first down. Hey, put the robot out there. Put the first down marker out there. Boom, there it is. Right?
Yeah.
And it's just like
Put the robot in.
Yeah, put the I don't know. Like,
Yeah, I wouldn't think you guys. I mean, I wouldn't think umpires already. You know, with the challenge system as it is, and now the ABS, it's like it's just. I don't know, setting them up to look bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're starting to.
Right.
And some people are like, well, they're already bad, you know, whatever. But it's like it's. If an umpire, it's like constantly, like you're making a call in a split second on a ball that takes less than a second to get there.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, he missed 4 of them today. You're like,
That's
I
pretty
think
good.
that's a positive.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
or
really
I
good.
missed
How
6
many,
of them.
out of how many pitches?
Right.
Like
250,
2
300.
And you gotta like to stay laser focused for like baseball's long.
Yeah, it
3-4
is.
hours,
Yeah.
you know, sometimes it's
It is.
tough.
Yeah.
I would
They're
think-
tough, but I can still get on them sometimes, though. It's still fun.
Oh, I get on the referees all the time myself. Yeah.
Yeah, he's getting thrown
the
out of
worst.
the game
Like,
when
I
he's
gotta-
on the bench.
I gotta stop
keep
it.
saying he's getting tossed. I got tossed a couple times when I was coaching.
No,
He's
when I'm on the
getting
bench, I'm fine. I think it's when I'm in the stands, I tend to just yell out because like when I see something wrong, I'm like, no, like I want to correct the wrong immediately, but you can't insert yourself.
The thing is, too, is that, like, if it's, you know, he just sort of looked at a play and saw it differently than you did, that's one thing. But if it's maybe like a rule thing, you're like, you're just wrong. Like, this is unacceptable. I refuse to accept this. It's not the rule. You know?
Like, for instance, right, like this weekend, it was an older guy reffing with a younger girl, right? And, like, we're playing one of the teams in New Hampshire, and the play was offsides, clearly. For us, we got the advantage, right? And you see the guy put his whistle to his mouth. I'm like, oh, he's got to help the girl up. Boom, puts it right down. Now the coach calls him over, was like, hey, this young girl's out here. You're out here for a reason. Like, you got to make sure game's called correctly.
Yeah.
Blow it dead. And he continued to do that all game long, and it just drove me nuts. And by the end of it, I just had enough.
Yeah. I deal with that to my kid, like, to youth baseball, you know, and I'll coach first, and something will happen. And I'm like, well, that's just flat out not the rule.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the guy's like, no. I'm like, no. I'm like, what rule? Was this a Little League rule, MLB rule? And then we get to a certain level, it is MLB rules. And I'm like, you know, like, the first baseman can't just falling to the ground and try to tag the guy getting picked off. Like he's got to give him the base a little bit, you know.
Right,
and
right.
There's just certain rules, and that's safe out, whatever. Yeah, you might have missed it. Who cares? It's youth. Go get them.
Right.
But when a rule, you're
Right.
like,
you gotta be buttoned up on those. Yeah. I hate when it drives me nuts when those things get missed.
yeah, there's just so many goddamn rules. Like sometimes I'm in the booth and something happens and I'm like, fuck, I don't think I've ever seen that before. Right. You know what I mean? Like there's 2 or 3 times a year I'll be like, what the hell was that?
Right.
You know,
Same.
Wait a minute, if this guy, there's just too many rules.
Now I know like Gino and I, when you work refereeing at a high level, and then now you're watching it at a lower level and you see these mistakes. You're coaching first base in a Little League game.
Yeah.
How hard or easy is it for you not to be like, what the fuck? You know?
Yeah,
like,
I think my wife will tell me that's just like with my own son.
Yeah.
And if somebody else makes a mistake, I'm like, try it. Yeah, and then I'll say something about my kid, and she'll be like, everyone else's. I'm like, I know, it's just a parent in me.
Right.
But I think I really try to just, when I go to like a game, I just really try to tone it down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And almost be like, you know
to.
what? My son's playing. I'm just going to enjoy watching him play. Good, bad. You always try to go into it with that. Same with all the other kids. So I just see too many people worked up in youth sports.
Oh,
I'm like,
crazy.
bro, it's like youth sports, man. Like, what the hell are we doing? Like, what? Do we really need this argument?
There's a brawl
in the field?
going.
Everybody calm down. Like, what the?
Fights in
There's
stands.
a fight in the stands going around right now.
Yeah. It's just because everybody just thinks like that's like their kid's ticket.
Yeah, and it's not.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
God no.
Yeah.
And you're like, do you realize what we're talking about here? Like,
Yeah, right.
is there someone in this state? How many kids in this state are gonna actually play?
Right.
1%.
Major League Baseball, NHL, NBA, whatever, you name it. And I'm like, why don't we all just sort of tone it down and just enjoy our kids running around, competing, and playing sports?
Being athletes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's intense.
Like I even know personally, like I've yelled out a couple of times, but like just take the face off outside. It's just, why is it inside, right? And like it's just that. Just it has nothing to do. It's not. But it's not a malicious yell. But I'm still yelling, and it's loud, and it's a rink, and then someone's yelling down there, and then the coach is yelling. But for like a 10-year-old kid, that's like, oh my God, it's the scariest thing in the world, right?
They'll figure it out. We're all massholes. You know what I mean? So it's like it's just part of it.
I think in hockey culture, yelling is more part of that culture. Where baseball, my daughter played softball.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like quieter.
Yes.
Like you yell at a softball game or a baseball game, fuck, everyone knows.
It's a little bit different. It's a little bit different too now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, my daughter was a pitcher.
Yeah.
I was a dick. So I'd go and warm her up, and she could fire the ball like windmilling at 7 years old. So but her strike zone was always tiny because she could throw it. And so she'd hit the mitt, and I go, that was perfect. Won't be a strike during the inning, but it was perfect. And then I'll be like, you talking to me? No, I'm talking to my daughter.
Yeah.
Knowing I'm not helping her in any way. Couldn't help it. I was like, this is fucking stupid. But I think that's might be the difference between them is like you yell. Everyone at the field knows, like, that's the dickhead. In a rink, you got multiple people yelling, and it's like, yeah, they're a dick, but, that's the kind of a different culture. Now, as a broadcaster, especially when like the Red Sox sucked, you watch stuff and you see guys boot balls or how do you not freak out? Like, you know what I mean?
Well, I still think it's like people. It was funny because like the players will always tell the guys that just left the game, like, don't forget how hard the game is. Right? And you're like, okay, I'll never. My career, how could I possibly forget it? Like I sucked. You know what I mean? Like, but it's like, I wasn't this great hitter. I wasn't this great fielder. I just survived, right? Because I could play the game. So
you were Sweet Lou.
But it's still like your job is. I still knew what it was supposed to look like. Like I played with some great players, and I knew what greatness looked like, and I knew what you're supposed to be doing at all times, kind of thing. And so the best way to put it is you talk about the play, you never try to make it personal. You know what I mean? That guy would probably would like to do it differently. He'd probably rather come and get that ball rather than sit back in that ball, or be aggressive on the 0-1 pitch or the 1-0 pitch instead. So it's not fun. The Red Sox defensively, really, that's the problem. The last 3 years have been awful. Making errors and everything else, and then they'll make a great play. So it was kind of like weird last year because they would make great plays and couldn't make some routine ones at times. So I think you always try to, number one, you never forget how hard it is, but you have to get past that and actually talk about the play and maybe what should have happened.
Right.
But you don't make it personal. You just talk about the play, the ground ball or whatever. So I like it when other teams make errors. Because then they can be like, well, Volpe just can't play shortstop. Got in the Yankees, or whatever. But so you're around it. When I'm back into it now and I'm traveling with the team, you're around it and you do see the work they put in and you do see how hard it is and how hard the guys are hitting the ball these days. And you're like, I know it's a tough play, but this guy's a big leaguer. He knows he should make that. Like, he knows that he should have made that. Look, put the camera on him. He's not happy.
Right.
He's disappointed. He knows he should have made the play. So that's always a tough part of it. When it's negative, you're sort of like, Jesus. And I get into a bad week, you're like, God, just start winning.
Right.
Yeah.
So broadcasting, how'd you make the transition from playing into broadcasting?
I think like I went right into kind of like sports radio.
Yep.
And then started doing like 30 games a year, like back in 2013. So I got to see it from a different side. But I felt like I was still like a sports radio guy doing games.
Yep.
And I think the guys were still like
Tony Maz.
Yeah. Or they're just like, you're on that station where that guy was ripping me, or your partner was ripping me, or you were ripping me, whatever. So it's still like
your media.
Team,
get the hell out of here.
Right.
So like the last couple of years, I get out of that radio kind of mindset mold of the business, and it's like, okay, this is just what I do, Right. So, but getting into it I loved it. It felt like getting out of the radio, doing 30 games a year was like awesome. And it just got to the point where I'm like, eventually, this is what I want to do. I would love to just do these games and just talk baseball,
right?
And not, free agency, salary caps, and all these other sports. So. There was an opening. Obviously, the station made some changes, and I had an opening here at NESN. So now I get to do the games, and it's great. You travel with the team. You're always around the spring training, so it's like you feel like
you're part of. You're part of the team.
Yeah, part of it, but I don't ever try to feel like I'm part of it.
Right.
But I'm always around.
Right.
And I kind of can see how hard these guys work, or you get to know the players better. I think when you watch that much.
Right.
It's hard to watch one game and see what a guy did wrong, but when you watch him for a week or 10 days, you're starting to see what adjustments he's trying to make and things like that. I love it. It's great.
Wow, that's cool to see those little adjustments and seeing how guys work through things. And baseball, it's streaky. You go into slumps and you get how guys come out of them and all that kind of
Every
stuff.
Every great hitter sucks for like 2 or 3. Well, like the older veteran hitters turn like a bad slump in the 30 at bats.
Right.
Some of the younger players turn into 80, 90, 100. Because older guys maybe have some things in the past where they get out of it quicker. So it's
makes sense.
It's been fun. It's nice when they win.
Makes
it a lot easier.
Who was the best player you played with over the years?
In Boston, it was like, Pedro Martinez is the greatest pitcher I've ever seen.
He's the best.
So 98 was his first year here. It was my first year in the big league. So it was like just...
How dominating was he?
It was...
Like, it just blows your mind when you look back and see how good he was.
The funny thing was the tail end of his career when he was more like 92, 93, you know what I mean? And he was still really good because he was just a smart pitcher.
Yeah.
You're like, imagine that at 97 right now.
Right.
Or 98. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what he was for those like first 3 or 4 years where it was, you're in the middle of a steroid era where the average, ERA is like 4.5 and this guy's popping 1.9s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he was just that much better than everybody else. And the best part was playing second or short behind him when you could just see he and Tech kind of like just going through a lineup and why they were throwing this, why they were throwing that, attacking different guys. He's the best pitcher I've ever seen. And like position players, it was, Manny, the hitter, Nomar, all around at short. Like it was some pretty cool.
Manny's one of the natural hitters we'll probably ever see.
He's one of the greatest right-handed hitters I've ever seen in my life.
Unreal.
Worked his ass off in the cage.
Now, I read he would like swing and miss a pitch on purpose so that the pitcher would throw the pitch again.
Yeah.
And he knew he was going to crush it.
Yeah. He'd do that. He'd also just set you up. Like there's so many at-bats where people are like, he's just quit. Like, because he would take 3 pitches down the middle and the at-bat would be over.
Right.
And people were like, what the hell was that? And sometimes he would just guess. Like he would sit there and be like, fastball down the middle, he'd take it. Fastball down the middle, he'd take it. 0-2 curveball, he hit it 450 feet because he was just sitting on the curveball the whole time. Not all the time, but
Right.
He was amazing. Like he was, if there was a guy on second or third, he was not going to win. Today's game, they're like RBIs don't mean anything. You're like, well, there's some dudes just better than others.
Right.
Yeah.
And he was just one of the greatest hitters I've ever seen. Nomar all around. For like 5, 6, 7 years, and first 7 years in Boston, it was just off the charts.
He was the man.
Yeah, off the charts. So I think you get to play with like the older guys, right? Like I played with David Cohn, Brett Saberhagen, Ricky Henderson, like Dennis Eckersley, like guys. You know, when I was younger, I'm playing with them. All of them kind of tail end of their careers, but still just like, wow, like that was pretty cool.
Now, did you ever face Pedro?
I did. I went 0 for 3. John, I hit a ball in left center. Johnny Damon dove and robbed me, the bastard. But I was playing with Cleveland. It was 0-4, my first year out. And Eric Wedge was my manager, and we were about to go into Boston. And he's just like, which game do you want? And it turned out, I think I played all of them because I think somebody had gotten hurt. But he's like, which game do you want? I'm like, who's throwing? And he was like, it was like Wakey, D'Lo, and Pedro. And I was like, Pedro. And he's like, what? And I'm like because I'm like, wait, Wedgie, I played with this guy for like 6 years. He's the greatest pitcher I've ever seen in my life. Like, what's he gonna face him? Strike me out 3 times? Who gives a shit? He strikes everybody. He gets everybody out.
Right.
So it was that was cool. So I got to face him just once, just at one time. It was great.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So who's the best shit talker?
The best shit talker.
Yeah. Who had the best chirps?
There was. A lot of funny guys. Like the funniest team I ever played with in my life was Carlos Baerga.
Really?
Like that was here with Ricky Henderson. Like he was just funny, not necessarily a chirper. Yeah. I think Trot Nixon would be pretty good at it. Because he would every once in a while you get him a little red ass, and he'd fire some shit off at the pitcher. Like it didn't take him long to kind of get pissed off, but when he got pissed off, like he would chirp at a guy pretty good. He was good. Pedro was always the nights he didn't pitch. He would just sit in the top step and start like chirping guys left and right. Like Posada, he'd just chirp Posada. He used to call him Dumbo.
That is
Because he had the kind of like bigger ears.
Yeah.
Hey, Dumbo. He would just yell, hey, Dumbo. He'd stick his ears out at him. That's why they never liked each other, I think they respected each other.
Yeah.
But they had some battles. But, Petey, when he wasn't pitching, a few times, starters, I remember Wakey one time, we were in Tampa Bay, and Wake was pitching, and Pedro wasn't pitching. When he was not pitching, he's always chirping, and there was nobody in the trop.
Right.
Like, it's quiet as hell. And he's out there pitching. You can hear Pedro. You can hear him like screaming at a hitter or chirping somebody and screwing around with him. Maybe not, I don't know, but Wakey one time was like, hey, will you shut the fuck up? Like, I'm on the mound, that's all I can hear is you, like, screaming, And he could be pretty loud if we were in a quiet place.
That's awesome.
His compete level, too, was just Pedro's.
Yeah, there's
It was just, second to none.
Yeah.
I mean, he just wanted to win.
Yeah, I see, like, some of the old videos and stuff, and it kind of brings you, like, that look in his face on a day he was pitching, like, when you're in the clubhouse and he's pitching, and you just look over there, and he just had this look in his face, and it was just like, and then you see some of the old games they show on NESN once in a while, him on the mound, you see that look again, and it's like, this dude.
That's the Tom Brady look, yeah.
Yeah, it was just like, it's his day.
Yep.
So, like, when guys are chirping like that, like, how often can you see, like, one of those bench clearers happening? Because, like, coming from, like, a hockey world, like, you can kind of see when, like, a fight's going to break out. But because I've never, like, I played baseball as a kid, but I was always in the outfield, kind of like I am in this episode right now. I'm just, but like, because everyone's so far apart, like, is there like a lot of like chirping going on before that happens, or is it more like communicated through the pitches?
Yeah, it's usually like something on the field, right? Like somebody gets taken out at second base or something, whatever, but controlled by a pitcher. I mean, some of those early years, like we had, Pedro was on the team, so every once in a while he would just drop a dude. A lot of it was protecting players, but other times he didn't like the way the guy was leaning over the plate, whatever. But we used to get in fights with the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, or the Rays at the time, all the time. Like they sucked. Like when they first came to the Rays, they were always in last, and we used to get in these fights with them like every single year. Like it just made no sense, because we were either in second place or we were trying to making the playoffs, and next thing you know, there was like a brawl, and guys would hit somebody. They drill Nomar, they drill Manny. So it was just chaos. Like Pedro one time hit that drilled Gerald Williams down in Tampa, that bench clearing brawl, whatever. So it was most of it's from pitchers. Yeah. Like guys getting hit, us not liking it, whatever it was. Retaliation, and then so Pedro would drop some dude, somebody would drop one of us, Pedro would drill another guy. Like, it just kept like escalating. Not really like chirping from the dugout.
Yeah.
Although that might have got guys fired up a little bit, but.
And that was back in the day when, like, you could do that and not get thrown out.
Yeah, now it's.
Right now, it's like you brush someone back and there's a warning and the whole thing. But back then, it was like, all right, you're going to hit 2, I'll hit 2. And
Well, the base, honestly, I think it's better. Like back then, like if somebody got dropped and you felt like it was intentional, the next inning the pitcher would just drop one of your guys
Right.
and drill him, hopefully, like in the hip,
Right.
you know,
Yeah,
not
in
at the
lap
head,
or
right,
something
yeah,
like
yeah.
that,
yeah,
and it's over. You know what I mean?
Right,
like,
right.
It's over.
Right.
Now, somebody, throws a ball behind a guy, misses him, he gets tossed, and there's warnings. So now nobody can hit anybody else. You know what I mean? And it's
Right.
sort of like it never gets resolved.
right.
You know what I
right.
mean? That's why I always say, like, let the game police itself. Now, some guys lose their mind, drill a guy in the head. That's not acceptable. But
Right.
it's like when people just expect it. You know what I mean? Like,
Especially the people playing the game.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's part of the code.
yeah, like somebody gets drilled and you're up third. You know, not me. That was one of the beautiful things. It was never me. Fucking wants to hit me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to put him on the base and make him earn it. A little bleeding single somewhere. But, like, if you drill somebody and you're up third and the first 2 guys get out. You know what I mean? They probably wouldn't drill the leadoff guy, although some guys don't give a shit.
Right. Yeah.
But 2 outs, nobody on. Here, hold this for me. They'll put in your ribs, go to first. And the guy would get drilled and be like, God damn it, it hurt, but I get it. And go.
Right.
Not all the time, but go. Now, guy gets thrown behind you and everyone's screaming and yelling. And
You ever see like guy getting hit, going in the locker room afterwards, getting pissed at the pitcher for hitting the guy earlier and say, "Now I had to take bullets for you." Any incidents like that? Teammates going at it. Yeah.
I've never really run into that. The only time I've seen it was like there was no retaliation. You know. I think I was actually like one year. It was 05. I was in Anaheim and Vladdy Senior was on our team, Guerrero.
Yeah.
And he got drilled. I think it was some history there too, but because I was just 05, I was a new guy in that team in April. He got drilled, I think once or twice, and we didn't retaliate. And Mike Scioscia didn't really ever believe in kind of retaliation. And I mean, one time after the game, like we had like a meeting, whatever, and Vladdy was pissed.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because the pitchers
Rightfully
wanted
so.
to drill a guy, but the manager comes up and says, "You're not doing it." You know what I mean?
Right.
And it was sort of like, so I've seen that before. That was just one incident there, but in the minor leagues sometimes too. It's like, dude, someone's getting dropped left and right. Like, what are we doing? Well, so-and-so doesn't want me to hit him. It's like, I don't really give a shit what so-and-so does. We're in the minor leagues. Like, take care of this.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
sometimes, but that's the only time. I've never really seen, like, a hitter go after a pitcher.
Right.
Because a lot of times pitchers are like, dude, I want to.
Yeah, right. I just
wanted
can't
to.
do it.
They won't let me. You
Right.
know, I don't know what that means, but I've seen that before.
When a brawl happens in baseball, because like hockey, you got line brawls, or if like you two start fighting, I'm going to grab Josh and we may go, but we might not.
Yeah.
And in baseball, they just all go out.
Yeah.
How often do you like grab someone and tag them? Is it just like the 2 main combatants? Or?
Yeah, it's like it is what it is. A lot of people call it, like everybody goes out there and they just to be out there.
Right.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And usually it
Yeah.
gets separated pretty quick.
Yep.
Like the one I was telling you, the Tampa and the Gerald Williams one. Like I was actually at third, and he drilled him, and you got to protect Pedro.
Yes.
And I was at third, and when he hit him, Gerald started walking, and I started like creeping towards Pedro a little bit. And I remember like Gerald, once Pedro like took his eyes off him and looked for a ball from the umpire, Gerald charged. So I took off, and I like ended up putting my shoulder in his, like basically his hip, like a tackle.
Yeah.
Just as I hit him, Tech hit both of us from behind. So that was like a melee. Unfortunately, I was in the bottom of that pile and
Oh,
fucking clue
scary.
what was going on. I ended up in the hospital that night.
No shit.
Because someone came in and dropped a knee in the back of my head. And I came out and I was like thrown up in the dugout. It was a mess, concussion.
Wow.
But like, we had one fight, I think it was with the Orioles or maybe Tampa, where it ended up at like in front of the left field, in front of the Green Monster. Like it just kept
Kept
going.
rolling, yeah.
Yeah, but the crazy one was probably the whole Zimmer thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was wild. There was some
insane.
punches thrown, and there was some
Yeah.
look personal.
That was insane because that also had a team of like Nixon and Kapler and like guys that were just like
Nuts, yeah.
looking to go get somebody.
And that hatred was real with the Yankees.
Yeah, it was because it was. I mean, I still felt like there was like respect. Like they were a very good team.
Right.
I think they knew we were a good team back in that time. But it was just they were so good. And
Yeah.
you knew you had to go through them. But the difference is like not so much now, maybe, or maybe it's starting, who knows, but there was like a young core in the Yankees that started like 97, 96, like when they were winning, and then there's a young core with the Red Sox, you know, and then you bring Pedro into the mix, and here comes Manny, and like there's Nomar and Trot, and it was just Veritek. So it was like you just played against the same guys for like 5 or 6 years. Right. You know what I mean? 4 or 5 years, and it just came to a head in 2003. I was on that team.
Yep.
So you just hated them because they knocked you out, and they were good, and it was just the same dudes. And so 2004 kind of finally kind of came to a little bit of a head, and then they finally won.
The Zimmer thing, like, it was terrible.
Terrible.
But he did charge at him.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to charge at someone, you got to expect something to happen. No.
Yeah.
I mean, I might sound like a dick right now, but I don't. If someone runs at me, I'm either gonna like clothesline him or throw him aside. He like Steven Seagal'd him. He just kind of like used his momentum, right?
It was like everybody loved Zim. Like literally, like everybody, even the guys. Everybody loved Zimmer. But even like some of the guys were like, well, I mean, he's Pedro Martinez. Mm-hmm. He's our pitcher. And I don't care how old Zim is, and this is one of the reasons why we love Zim is because he actually thought of going after Pedro Martinez at his age. You know what I mean? We're like this is actually the reason why we love him. Look at this freaking psycho. He wants to kill him. Right. But if Pedro just sort of stayed there and let him just punch him in the face, like, I don't know, maybe he breaks a jaw or whatever.
Now Pedro's out, yeah.
So the whole thing was just bad because nobody wanted it to happen. But at the same point, people were like, well, we're not going to just let him tackle Pedro.
Yeah.
So Pedro, just redirected him.
Yeah.
But I'll say this, like, really, everybody felt bad for Zim. And I'll never forget it. The next day, he was, like, emotional and was embarrassed. Like, he was so like, I'm sorry, I don't know what get into me. And I remember to a man, like, if he said anything to this guy on our team, to a man, we were like, Zim, you didn't understand. Like, that's why, first off, are you okay?
Yeah, right.
Okay, and that's actually why we love you. Like, you took a run at him. Like, it's fucking hysterical.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's so true.
So,
yeah.
And I think it was bad because
great.
he kind of bounced on the turf.
That was ugly. It was awful. I hate seeing it.
Yeah.
But it was like...
It was one of those ones where you see it and you're like, if he's okay, I'm laughing my balls off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, if everything's all right.
It's like when your friend walks in a door or something, you're like, okay, it's all right,
Yeah, but he was a guy that, honestly, when you played the Yankees, it was still playing the Yankees.
Right.
But like, Zim would be at the cage and everybody kind of walk up to him and be like, what's up, Zim? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
He was just a man.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't realize that about him. That's cool to know.
Yeah, he's a good
that's
guy.
awesome.
But we loved him when he was here. When he was here, he was, I mean, everyone loved him. Yeah. Who, manager-wise, who'd you like playing for?
Jimmy Williams was my first.
Okay.
He was awesome. Like, I loved that guy. Like, he was a great teacher of the game, great temperament. Grady Little was there. Grady was our bench coach, who was awesome because he's hysterical. And, obviously Grady with the whole 03 thing with Pedro not pulling him, but I still loved Grady Little. Like, he's still one of my favorite guys in the world. Like, his contract was up and he was going to do it his way. He was going to leave what he viewed as the best pitcher. He wasn't going to listen to people saying you got to pull him after the third time, pull him after 95 pitch, whatever. He was going to run with the guy.
Yeah.
It didn't work. But I love Grady Little. I had some good ones. Sosha I really liked. I wasn't only with him for a couple months, but Eric Wedge was one of my favorites too. I've known Wedgie. I knew him. He was living out here, so I've known him before I played with the Indians, but he was great. Some good ones. I was lucky. Even the minor leagues, like DeMarlo Hale. He's with Toronto right now, the bench coach, been in the game forever. He's one of the best guys to learn from coming up through the minors. So I got lucky. Yeah, it was good. Good group.
With that whole situation with Pedro not taking him out, is Pedro, like, it's Pedro. Mm-hmm. Like, Pedro's not going to go, take me out.
Yeah.
I mean, hindsight's 20/20.
You never leave it up to the pitcher.
Right.
No.
But, like, hindsight's 20/20. But it's fucking Pedro.
Yeah.
Like, you can see it was a gigantic mistake. Mm-hmm. But I don't think I'm telling Pedro get out.
No, I remember being in there, and because when he came off the mound, he gave me one of these.
Yeah.
Like,
everyone thought
forever,
it was done. Yeah.
That was him being like, that's it.
Right.
He doesn't thank before the game's over.
Right.
You know what I mean? So kind of thought he was done, and at the time, leading up to that, we had guys like Timlin, Embry, and Williamson that were just dominating.
Lights out.
Like they were just putting up zeros. And
Yep.
we were just like, we're good. We got these 3 to finish it off last. So he went back out. And don't forget, like he was like 0-2, 1-2 on everybody. He just couldn't put him away.
Right.
You know, and then he went out and talked to him. I thought he was taking him out.
Right.
And he came off the mound. He left him in. And I'm like, oh boy. You know, how we doing? You know, like, so it was just one of those moments. But you're never going to leave it up to him. He's always going to say he's good. But guys in that pen were just dominant at the time.
Yeah.
That sucked.
Yeah.
Like, that sucked. And to the point, like, you know, I've seen grown men cry in dugout in clubhouses, you know, especially Wakey, who was probably going to be series MVP.
Right.
You know, if we win that ball game, and he gives it up, and it's like, you know, like, dude, really? Like, you don't know the reason why we're here.
Right.
With how he pitched.
Right.
But that was, I'll never forget it, because the next year I was in Cleveland. And that offseason when Aaron Boone blew his knee out playing basketball. And the Yankees released him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, he was rehabbing. The Indians signed him. So I was in Cleveland. So he gets signed, and he's not going to play. He's still rehabbing his knee kind of thing. It's more for the following year type.
Yep.
So he comes to the clubhouse saying hi to everybody. He just signed. He comes over, and I'm like, Booney, it's too early. Dude.
Yeah, get away from me, dude.
It was like June. I'm like, it's still too soon. Like,
Yeah.
I love Booney. Booney's the best. But it was kind of like, I'm like, man, my family hates you. Like, you know, I'm like, the whole Boston nation hates you. But he's a good dude.
It's kind of like Albie when he got traded to Philly, and Hartnell was the guy who knocked him out for a year and a
that's
half.
right, yeah.
And next thing you know, they're teammates. And it was
Yeah.
like, you know, that awkwardness.
Too soon.
Yeah, too soon.
But you know
Like,
how it is.
you
Some
know,
teammates, you're like, yeah.
you gotta forgive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
Marshy and Bennett.
Now
That
you're
was
my
the same
teammate.
thing. Now, what was it like being over in Japan?
It was, I loved the experience. Like,
Were
be
you
able to-
tall over there?
I was probably average height.
Really?
Yeah.
I figured you'd
No.
be
No,
pretty tall.
it was probably average height. I think there was still some got big dudes out there that I was surprised with. But I was there for like 6 months. I actually came back the trade deadline because it was like that was the year John Valentin blew his knee out, and they were trying different dudes, and they were like they had a hole, and they're like, you want to come back? And at the time I was like, yeah. But I loved it. I was in Okinawa for spring training for 2 months. And I was in Yokohama, and it was just, I loved the food. The games were sick. They were packed. Everyone's chanting. They
all
were
sorts
really
of
into it.
yeah.
They love baseball, but the baseball was just different.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how different was that? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just different. You know, it was like Mr. Baseball, the movie with Tom Selleck.
Okay,
that was
yeah.
it. We had ties, you know, or I'd be at third base and the interpreter's screaming at me, and I'm like, what? And he's like, look for the bunt. I'm like, there's nobody out and there's bases loaded. Like, who the fuck's bunting now? And so they don't bunt. And I'm like, what was up with that? He's like, Lusan, I'm telling you, they're gonna bunt. I'm like, bases, I'm like, bases loaded, nobody out. I'm like, if they do, I'll catch it and flip it underhand to the catcher, and the guy's out, and then I'll look at the hitter like, you're an idiot. A week later, I'm at third base, bases loaded. Lusan, I'm like, yeah, I know, bunt. I'm in there, the guy squares, bunts it to me, I pick it up, I throw it to the catcher, out. I'm like, what? I think I put my hands up like this and looked at my interpreter. I'm like, what are we doing? And they're like, good play. And I'm like, okay. But it was,
Lusan, go
yeah.
play.
I was like, all right, you know. But it was hard. You're an American. They know you're a dead fastball hitter. So I was over there getting pitched like I was Barry Bonds, 1-0 curveballs, 2-0 sliders. I'm like, what the splits everywhere. And I was like, dude, I'm a fastball hitter. I can't hit any of this shit, you know. And it was actually some pretty good pitching. But I came back 1st of August, and I was a dead red fastball hitter. And all of a sudden, I started seeing these curveballs, and I was just hitting the shit out of them. I hit 320 when I came back for 2 months because I was hitting breaking balls.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, what happened to you? And I'm like, it's all I saw for 4 months, 6 months. It's all I saw, curveball. And to be honest with you, I'm like, some of those guys are better than that horse shit I just hit.
Yeah, right.
They had some good stuff. There was some good pitching over there, especially off speed. It was a blast, though.
Yeah.
It was just.
And the language wasn't.
Oh, I'll never learn it. It was freaking.
no.
In a million years. It was.
How many kids from Framingham?
Oh, it was
Japanese.
It was like artwork, you know. And I'm like, I don't know what any of this means.
Right.
Menus had pictures. I had an awesome interpreter who played baseball at Cal.
Oh, all right.
You know, and so he was more American, really, than Japanese. So he was the best. He was always kind of we'd go out and. Yokohama had a base there. So
yeah.
if I needed just some American shit, I would just go to the base, you know what I mean, and get some stuff. Or like there was like an American like bar. You walk in, they're playing like Michael Jackson, Bruce Springsteen, pool table. You could buy a burger. All Americans that were in Yokohama would be there. So it was like you just every once in a while you just need that.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, language was you learn a few words here and there. That's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is it bus rides? Because it's
Train.
Yeah,
we used to take the
Old
train.
school.
Yeah. The bullet train though.
Oh yeah.
Shit, we'd be there in freaking 10 minutes. You know, it was sick. But a lot of trains, jumping on trains. It was pretty cool. It was, like I said, I would never 6 months in Japan. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was great. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, cool experience.
Yeah, it was great.
It's awesome.
Yeah, that's they completely. Well, I suppose because you were mentioning, it's like playing hockey in Europe.
Yeah.
You know, I would
it's a
think
lot
it's
different,
similar in that you go over to a foreign country and it's a completely different experience. The games, the hockey, the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm guessing that's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, you're thrown in it.
Yeah,
You know?
because there's really nowhere else internationally that you go play baseball.
Yeah,
in
like
Japan.
now, like Korea's bigger now, but like Japan, like I played winter ball one year in Venezuela.
Well,
where
you're
you
doing that now.
Yeah, not. I don't know if we're doing it anymore now. Although maybe now the league takes off. Who the hell knows?
Maybe you can go play
yeah,
now. I don't know.
But I was only there for like a month, and it's just all Spanish speaking. You know,
Yeah.
but still, I feel like Spanish speaking. Like by the time I left there, I could comprehend.
Yeah.
You know, and respond. Japanese, forget about it.
A
Like,
buddy
that
of
was
mine
never
refed
gonna
in
happen.
Russia for a season, yeah. Well, actually, I think he did half the season maybe. But yeah, he said that was difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, very difficult.
But just the life experience, though, you know?
Yeah.
Like 6 months in Japan, Okinawa,
Right.
where Mr. Miyagi was from, right?
Yeah.
Karate Kid, you always talked about Okinawa, and I love that movie. So it was
yeah,
cool.
that's great.
But it was
No,
cool.
that's-
It was pretty cool. Yeah, it was cool. Good time.
My father was in World War II.
Yeah.
So he South Pacific destroyer escort. So Japan, he was actually escorted the Missouri into Tokyo Bay when they signed the surrender. So like, I've kind of always wanted to go to Japan just to, I don't know, to see that.
it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
Long flight.
I definitely won't be playing baseball over there.
It was a long flight, but first class gets you a little bed. So funny you say that because I probably shouldn't tell the story. It was my grandmother, God rest her soul. She's greatest ever. Italian grandmother. She comes over with my mom and we go to Hiroshima. You know, monument,
Yeah.
everything, museum. And she's just like, she's at the age where she feels like she can just say whatever the hell she wants anyway.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So we're in the museum and she's like, Jesus. She's like, you would think this is all our fault. I was like, excuse me? And she's like, well, we tried to warn them.
We did.
You know, like we did.
Oh my God.
We tried it, and I'm like, Graham, let's talk about this outside.
Yeah.
Right? Let's bring this conversation outside the museum here. You know, she's like, well, you know, we did. We tried to warn him. You know what I mean? This all could have been avoided. And I'm like, we gotta go. Time to go. Wrap it up. I'm like, Mom, we gotta go. Take your grandma out of here. It was
Time for a nap.
God rest her soul.
We did drop pamphlets.
Yeah.
We dropped the pamphlets.
Yeah. I was
Let
like,
'em
I'm like,
happen.
now is not the time. We got to get out of here. You know, like, but like I said, you get an older grandmother at the age where they feel like they can speak in their mind, but still, it was like, no.
When I went to Pearl Harbor,
I
we
remember,
were out
yeah.
in Pearl Harbor,
Yeah.
and it was interesting because there was a lot of Japanese people there.
Yes, I
you
noticed
know,
that.
taking pictures and different things, and it's just kind of like, you know, I wonder what they're thinking.
It was,
You know?
it was like the whole experience, like I said, Hiroshima, you know, Nagasaki, all of it. Like Tokyo, I was in Tokyo, beautiful city. Like I loved the living experience there, and the people were fantastic. They loved baseball. I mean, it was just like, they loved it. And I was lucky because we had this kid, Bobby Rose, who was like his 5th year in Japan. You know, and he was like an all-star, and he could speak Japanese. Like he just knew what to expect, how to act, what's coming next, type of thing. So he really helped with the transition as well. So it was a great time.
I'm surprised because the crossover with Japanese players has been kind of limited. You know.
Yeah, it's picking up now.
It's picking up though. Yeah.
Power, they're starting to understand the power game. You know what I mean? Like when I was there, you could start seeing it. Like there were some guys there, like Matsui was there with the Yankees, whatever. But it was always a game where it was like bunt, contact, move the runner. Guys don't need to throw hard, need to locate. Now you're starting to see, you know, Sasaki and Otani throwing 99. You know what I mean? Now you're starting to see guys hitting 40 home runs. That's why they always bring Americans over, because they're looking for these power guys to pop 30, 40 homers or throw hard. Because, but now the game is starting to translate. It's more powerful. That's why you're seeing lately the guys that are coming over have success.
Yeah.
Because it's a little bit
changing a little bit.
Yeah, it is. There's some elite talent over there. It's just a question of when they can come over. But it's a lot more power in their game. It's coming. It's good players.
2026 Red Sox, what are we looking?
Yet to be determined, I would say. Like right now, I think when the offseason started, no Bregman, it was like you got to get 2 bats.
Yeah, you need 2 bats.
You got to get 2. So they added Contreras. I know it wasn't probably what everybody wanted, Alonso, just give me 45.
Yeah,
homers
right.
I could bank on. It's just that Contreras is, he's going to pop you 20. Better defensively at first base.
You got a first baseman.
Yeah, finally.
Yeah, you got a first baseman.
Finally.
Yeah.
I mean, your open Costas the guy who just can't stay healthy.
Right.
Now, if you can bring Bregman back, with a full season of Roman Anthony, your lineup will be good.
Really good,
you will be one of the top probably 5, at least 10 offenses in baseball. The question of who takes off and who kind of falls back. Pitching, I think, will be good. I think you're going to be a good team. You're going to be a playoff team again.
They should be.
Yeah,
They
and
should
once
be
you
a
get
playoff
there,
team.
it's all about health.
Trade
last year,
deadline, all
they
that,
were
yeah.
beat up at the end.
Yeah.
Offensively, Giolito was great for them. He didn't pitch. Roman was out.
Yeah, I was going to say Anthony was out
Yeah.
hurt. Yeah.
How
Abreu,
good is he going to be?
He's unbelievable.
Yeah.
The thing with him is how quick the adjustments happen. It's not normal. I think in the minors 2 years ago, they were like, you got to learn to hit lefties better. So we went out and hit lefties better than righties. They had 320 against lefties, 300 against righties. And they're like, that happened quick. And then it was just a constant, he came up to the big leagues and his hands were kind of more up here in his face. And they started talking to him there's a lot more power up here. So rather than here and some movement, just start him here. And that kind of an adjustment can be tough for a young kid who doesn't have many at-bats. And within a couple days, he was just doing this all the time, and that's when he took off. So he just, everything they throw at him, he just sort of is okay, and goes and does it. Wow. The sky's the limit. One of the issues in the minors were he hits the ball hard, but he hits a lot of ground balls. A lot of 107, 110 exit velocity ground balls to second, Learn how to get the ball in the air a little bit. So the first, month, he was 1 home run, 2 home runs. And then right before he got hurt, he hit 5 or 6, 7 home runs in a 2-3 week span.
Yeah.
And you're
he was on
oh
fire.
boy, somebody learned how to get the ball in the air. He's a different category.
Yeah.
He's in an elite superstar category prospect.
Yeah.
Other ones, big leaguers, they'll be good players. This kid's different. He's special.
He signed early. Good move on his part? Or?
Yeah.
He was great for the Red Sox. I love the
Yeah.
deal. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
I thought it was good for both parties.
Yeah, great for the Red Sox. And I remember actually talking to his dad, who was hysterical, and he was just he's 21, 22 years old. He's got $160 million. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. When you put that in perspective, right?
And
Yeah.
yes, he's also confident and good enough to be you know what? I'm going to hold out. Because when I'm a free agent, I'm going to make by then $600 million. You know what I mean?
Right.
But there's just a reasonable part of it about this kid. He's just I'm going to get there. But right now, I'm pretty happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think,
That's good.
think about that. It's insane, right? 21, 22 years old, you just 160's coming. The guarantee, too. It's not like NFL where they can get you out of it and it's all about this and signing bonus. Nope. It's yours.
Yeah.
So and well worth it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, well worth it.
Now they're going to move Jared Duran, you think?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I like the kid. I think you need that extra, injuries, everything else, right?
Yeah.
You need that swing guy, and you need someone that's a major leaguer. You're not going to bring up a kid, and you're going to,
Yeah, you just hit on it. He's in his 4th year in this league.
Right.
So, Trevor Story's in his, probably, 9th year, right? Whatever.
Yeah.
Other than that, your catchers are either rookies or 3rd-year players.
Right.
Second basemen, we don't know who that's going to be. Maybe it's Marcelo, who's in basically year 1, year 2. Romans are still year 2, year 1. Cedon and Abreu is year 3. And it's sort of Jaren's kind of, I think, 5th year, but really 4 years of service.
Yep.
He's starting to be okay, he's a big leaguer.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You need more than 1 or 2 guys.
Right.
That's why Bregman's important.
Yep.
Contreras will help. You just need some older guys that have been through it.
Right.
To help the young guys kind of go through certain things and what to expect. I think Duran's a good player. The they should hold his value very high
Yes.
and not feel like, I want to trade him for prospects. No.
No.
You want to trade him for a number 1, number 2 pitcher? Okay.
Let's do
but
it. Yeah, now we're talking.
I don't think that deal's out there.
No.
So he's on a team. He's good. Like last year was a down year.
Right.
And I think that's kind of like his floor.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, he's a good player. I don't think you want to be in the business of getting rid of good players. I don't want to. At least.
Not anymore. Not anymore, anyway.
No. I mean, he's not Mookie Betts.
Right, no,
But he's a really good player.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, Roman Anthony will probably end up on L.A. in a couple of years.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not for the next 7.
I hope not. Believe me, I hope not.
Hopefully
But
by then the Dodgers will be worried about all the deferral money and they're like, we can't afford it. We're done.
That's true. That's
Probably
true.
not, though.
No,
They'll figure it out.
It's tough when so many great players have left here.
Yeah.
You know, and not necessarily by choice. Mm-hmm. That's what kind of. I mean, Nomar was one of them.
Yep.
Right, but Nomar, I think, without making that trade, I don't think we win the World Series.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it all been about his health, whether he was healthy or not. Like,
Yeah.
it was funny because they, I forget what Netflix thing they did about the Red Sox and that.
Oh,
World
yeah,
Series year.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like all the
I saw
guys I
that,
was
yeah.
talking to, they're like, yeah, every time they kept doing all the interviews and stuff, they kept wanting us to say we wouldn't win it without Nomar. And they're all like, he was really good.
Oh no, he
Like,
was.
if he was healthy, I think we're pretty sure we still would have won it. Like
Yeah.
he would have helped us win, but health-wise, he wasn't right. But they have lost a lot. And I don't know how you guys feel, but I always feel like anybody's kind of tradable as long as you get something back in return that you like.
Yeah.
You know, and that's probably the biggest problem, right? You trade Mookie, you have Connor Wong still on the team.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Like Devers, we'll see. Like Kyle Harrison, I think can be a good pitcher for them. We'll see what he becomes, but you trade away a lot of dudes. If you bring back somebody who really helps you for the next 5 or 6 years, it's easier to forgive.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like the Joe Thornton trade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can tell you exactly where I was when I found out Nomar got traded. No, seriously, like I know where it's kind of like president gets shot, you know, space shuttle blows up, Nomar got traded. And I know exactly where I was, down at my cottage down in Lakeville.
Is it because people told you looked like Nomar? Or?
No, no one ever. No one ever said that. No one's ever said. Maybe when he was on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
You got a little Nomi in
Back
you.
in the day, maybe we both were on the
I can
juice.
see it a little
I
bit.
don't know, but no, I've never been told that. Yeah, Sergei Fedorov. But
Yeah, Fedorov. I see Fedorov.
Yeah.
I see Fedorov.
But not,
Yeah.
not Nomar. I'll take it. Nomar's a good-looking dude, you know, and I can say
He's a
that
good guy.
with the utmost confidence. One thing I wanted to ask you, because grew up Framingham,
Yeah.
Boston Red Sox fan.
Yeah.
You end up playing for the Sox, but not only that, your first at bat at Fenway, you fucking launch a 3-run home.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
Like
it's
we all
insane.
dream of in playing wiffle ball in the backyard.
Yeah.
We're like fucking boom.
Yeah.
You know, that's our thing. We win the Stanley Cup playing street hockey.
Yeah.
And you fucking live that dream.
I know, it's insane. Like, seriously, it feels like, well, actually, it's probably almost close to 30 years ago. But so when I got called up, I actually went to Kansas City. That was my first game. You know, we were on the road, Kansas City, Minnesota. And my first game that night was against Jose Rosado, a left-handed pitcher for the Royals. And, you know, you come up to the big leagues, you don't know anybody. Right. You know, they're like, oh, this guy's got this. You're like, fuck. Until I see it, I don't know what the hell that means. You know, like, what does this look like? What's his curveball really look like? His fastball, what it feels like? And then I got my first hit in Minnesota the next series, but I had like a whole week before I knew I was coming back to Fenway, which meant the town of Framingham knew I had a whole week. You know, like everybody was there.
I was gonna say, how many people were there?
Everybody was there. It was. How about this? So it was my parents' 33rd wedding anniversary, May 15th. I'll never forget it.
So cool.
Yeah, it was like their wedding anniversary. I'll never forget their wedding anniversary, May 15th. It was 1998, and I remember being like, well, my first game at Fenway, I'm going to bring you guys to the game in a limo. So I got a limo, and they all came to the game from Framingham. I actually had my sister drop me off at the field. Because I'm taking a limo home with you back to the house where I was living in that neighborhood, whatever. So she dropped me off, and I remember driving in, like, she's like, you all right? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I said, I just want to hit a double. Just want to hit a double off the wall. Like, slide in, call timeout, brush the dirt off, take a moment. You know what I mean? Look around, you know?
Yeah, right.
And first at bat, the guy pitching for the Royals was Jose Rosado, the guy I faced in my first big league game. Like 6 days later, right? It was like, 6 days later. So I was like, all right, this is the only guy I've ever seen twice, or I've ever seen before.
Yeah.
So first at bat, 3-1, 2 guys on, just fastball up, hit a homer. Fucking round of first, like, holy shit. You know, like, I got the silent treatment when I got in the dugout.
Oh, that's awesome.
Until Big Mo Vaughn came and jumped on me. And I was like, honestly, you're sitting there, you're like, did that just happen? Like, what the hell? I'll never forget, because after the game, it was like, we went back to Framingham. We were in this Italian club, Columbus Hall. And there was going to be, like, some aunts and uncles and cousins there, you know, like 30 people, whatever. It turned out to be, like, 200. Because of hitting a home run. We get back there, it was like packed. Channel 5 was there. Steve Burton's in the house. It was insane. But at one point that night, I'm like, listen, I got to go to bed. I didn't retire tonight. You know what I mean? Like, hey, let the kid play one game, hit a homer, and you're done. You don't have to show up tomorrow. I'm like, I got a game tomorrow. I got to go. But it was, that was pretty cool.
That's funny.
Yeah. That's awesome. I mean, I always joke and say I want to be famous enough to take BP at Fenway.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why. That and flying a jet. That's the only reason, because that to me is like, you know, you grow up. It's like, who doesn't want to take a at bat at Fenway?
Yeah, hit one over the monster, hit the monster, whatever it takes.
You know, or dribble one to third, whatever. I just want to swing the fucking bat at Fenway Park. That's all. You know, but to do it and blast one.
Yeah, it was cool.
That's great. And I forgot you played with Mo Vaughn.
Yeah, my first year.
Mo's
the best.
Mo is awesome. Like, just loved watching him play.
I had known him for a while, coming up through the minors, because like he used to do all these like hitting camps around like the area.
Yeah.
And so me and a bunch of other guys, maybe in the minors at the time, like it was a Mo Vaughn hitting camp, and we used to be instructors. You know what I mean? Coming up through the minors, be a good little winter job for us. Make some money, hang out at night, Portland, Maine, maybe have a couple beers, whatever, have a good
Great
time.
little area,
Yeah. So it was. So I'd known him for a while, and I got first big league camp, so it was like a little bit of comfort knowing like, because Mo was like one of the greatest leaders I'd ever played.
Yeah.
Like, he was a dude. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't. I don't think he gets enough respect, kind of like with his time here in Boston, like who he was. Like he was an absolute monster.
He was a beast. Yeah.
I loved it. First year having him around, like he's such a good guy and still is. Good man. Great hitter.
I would think the hockey equivalent would be Joe Thornton. Like, you know, he was. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. You looked at me like, no, but you know what I mean?
No, he was, yeah.
Because I don't think people appreciated what Joe Thornton did here.
No,
as
they
a
didn't.
Bruin.
No, you're right.
You know what I mean? And they,
He was
like,
short-lived,
he's an
and then
afterthought.
Right.
Like you mentioned the name, like, oh yeah, he played here. It's like, fucking, what are you kidding me?
Stanley Cup All-Star.
Yeah.
I mean,
They talk
NHL
more about the trade. You know,
Yeah,
him
they talk
being
about the
Lou.
trade than
Well, it's like
anything.
Mo, he leaves, he goes to Anaheim, and it sort of doesn't really work. You know, so it's sort of like, but I mean, Joe kept going on and on and on. But
now, so in radio, you talked all sports. All right. Who's your? We asked this. This actually, I think, was a Cedric Maxwell thing when he was on.
Yeah.
Who's your Mount Rushmore of Boston sports? I know it's not an easy question.
no, Brady
Okay.
or
Like it.
Bird. See, then you're going like Pedro.
I was gonna
I
say.
like the Pedro one.
Yeah,
I
you
think
can
a
put
good
Poppy there.
Yeah.
See, I remember
Poppy.
talking about like Mount Rushmore, and it's like
Shaw Mount Rushmore.
people can always get pissed at you about like generations. You
Right.
know, like Ted Williams should be on. I'm like, fine, he might be on yours.
Right.
You watched him.
Right.
Right,
You
exactly.
know what I mean? Like,
I'm not that fucking older than you. What are you talking about? I watched.
no, but not you.
2 years old.
No, not you. But yeah, but you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, people get all bent out of shape. They're like, well, he was the best.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
in that era, I never got to see him.
I'll put
Yeah,
Bird.
yeah.
I tell you what, the captain of it for me is Bird, because I just grew up. I was, 14, whatever it was, 85, 86.
Right.
Like, it's Bird.
Right.
Period. You know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah.
that's just what. And then obviously Brady forever. You know,
Right,
but.
right.
Bobby Orr, I might even put Ray Bork, but to my generation. Kinda like,
right.
But I think that's, baseball would be hard. You can go wherever you want to go. Everybody can have different ones, depending how old you are. I guess if you ask some 17-year-old, he'd probably tell you something different.
Right.
Yeah.
Put Tatum on there.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. 100%.
Yeah. We Paul Pierce. I mean,
Pierce, yeah.
Yeah.
he's another one. We always talk about like, well, all right. I think the greatest players, the GOATs, could play in any era,
I agree.
and that's So who's a baseball? Who do you think could play in any era? I mean, I would think Pedro could pitch in any
God,
era,
yeah.
right? I mean, he's someone that I think Ted Williams would be able to hit no matter
Yeah,
when he played.
I think it'd be more of like an older guy that could still, because I think Pedro throwing 98,
Well,
back-
yeah, I mean,
whatever,
they didn't
with
do
everything
that.
he had.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like, well, they weren't throwing that hard. It's like, okay, well, if they were, it's all relative. You'd figure it out. You know, like it was like when I first came up to the big leagues, guys were like, actually through the minor leagues, they're like, the average fastball in the big leagues right now is 89 miles an hour. And I was like, an A-ball when I first got drafted back in 93. And I was like, yeah, all right, whatever. But, they can locate and they got good breaking stuff and everything else. You have guys in the low 90s and the power guys maybe mid 90s, but for the most part, it's around 90, And I'm like, all right. By the time I got to the big leagues, it was like 93, And now I think it's 95. Yeah. So I sit there and I say, how the hell do you hit, a guy throwing 98 that's got a sinker, four-seamer, and a cutter, like 3 different fastballs. And, it's like, some guys would struggle and they couldn't hit power, but when you come up through college, all the way through the minors facing it, it's just like you coming up through the minors and college facing 92, 93, where some guy's like, how the hell do you hit 93? Right. So I just think those guys, like a guy like Ted Williams would be like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, no big deal.
Figure it out.
Like, I'll figure it out.
Right.
That makes sense.
And the other ones, like football would be hard because maybe they would just be bigger. I don't know in today's world. But like a lineman would be like a safety, like a linebacker now, like the size and the speed.
Well, I think how they treated quarterbacks, that's the biggest argument when people say, oh, Brady didn't play when, Bradshaw and,
get killed.
And Marino, or Montana would get fucking bundled every game.
Right.
And therein lies that difference.
Yeah, maybe
Could
not
Brady
20,
do that?
How many years did Brady play? I don't even 22, 23?
2 or 3.
So it's like maybe he doesn't play that long.
Right.
Because he just gets his ass kicked.
Right. But he got his ass kicked early on,
Yeah.
a good amount, but not like, you didn't have.
20 years ago, there was no such thing as pliability either.
Yeah. Learning how to fall. Right?
Yeah. What was pliability 20 years ago?
Pliability. I don't know. It was by accident.
It was a video you watched. It was a category, the pliability category. No, that's it is tough though to figure out who, what. So a guy like Wakefield, right? How difficult is it to hit a knuckleball going 60?
Yeah.
Like, I would rather that than 95, but that's because I'm, a wiffle ball player, right? Like,
He just
how hard is it to hit a pitch like that he threw?
His was amazing.
Did you ever face him other than like?
I did. I think I got a hit off of him in Cleveland, that series. I faced all those guys. But it was just like, there were so many hitters that were just like, if I, my certain stance, maybe I'll change a little something differently just because it's like, it's so unique. Not like you want to be a softball hitter, but you still like, it's just, it moves so much, like where you think it is. That's why like Mirabelli was back there, was great about it. But he didn't really know where it was going. Like, some days it would go down to the left, down to the right, just down, or sometimes it would kind of rise up. Like it just...
Weather's a big factor too in knuckleballers, right?
Everything. When he had a good one, that was the thing. Like you say, you'd rather face him. And I think, guys were like, oh yeah, because he doesn't throw hard. But it's an embarrassing at bat.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
right.
Guys would be up there, and some of the swings, he would just embarrass dudes. Because it would just...
ridiculous.
It'd be right here, and all of a sudden the guy would go to swing, and it would go poof, like it would just take off. And then he would throw his little 82, 83 in the outside corner for a fastball, and freeze a guy.
Oh,
it looked
awesome.
120.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And the guy would be like, "Are you shitting me? You just froze me with that?"
Right.
I love watching that.
Good.
Yeah,
he was so
that was
good.
awesome.
Oh, I loved watching him.
Yeah.
And just like, like you said, it was an art.
Yeah,
like an art form.
Yep.
Like I try throwing him with a wiffle ball, and I still can't figure it out. Like it's just almost like you're pushing it. I don't know. Can you throw a knuckleball?
Yeah, I used to throw one better, but like wiffle ball. He tried to throw
yeah.
one now, but it was like he's up there just throwing it out. I remember people, I don't know if it was like Pedro or somebody. Everybody once in a while would be like, man, you got some balls. The balls you have of throwing like Frank Thomas, this like 68-mile-an-hour floater. You know what I mean? And making him look bad. Like they're sitting there looking at this big dude, and they're like, Jim told me, like, how do I get this guy out? Wakey's like, here, hit this. You know what I mean? It's just things moving all over the place, and they couldn't touch it.
So, like, speaking of, like, figuring out how to throw a wiffle ball, or, like, the guys that played in different eras, like, I know, like, the hockey guys we know, like, Kevin Miller, I think, could have gone to college for, was it soccer? I think it was soccer, or like we know other guys that could have like gone pro, like playing baseball or soccer or football or whatever, but they chose hockey. Is there guys in baseball that like they could have gone towards hockey or gone to another one that you played with that they were just like it didn't really matter what sport they were playing? Because there's some guys with size. Like I remember I worked down the hall from EEI for like 10 years at AAF. And I remember one day Kurt Schilling was walking down the hall and I was walking behind him and I thought it was LB. And he turned around and asked me where the bathroom is. I was like, holy shit, you got some size. But like, I feel like if he played hockey, he would have been dangerous out there with just his size. Like, were there guys that...
I think hockey's a different animal.
Yeah.
You know
Glavin played hockey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was good hockey
Glavin was a good hockey player.
But it's like a lot of the baseball guys, whether it's like California, Arizona, Texas, Florida, you know what I mean? They're probably not like, hey, put on a pair of skates.
Yeah.
Like obviously, like some golfers would be pretty good, but like football guys, there were just some guys in the NFL, like you know whether it be like Dion or Jordan, Brian Jordan. Those guys playing, you know, Bo
Jackson.
Yeah, there was definitely some like bigger guys that you just sort of looked at and you're like Jaron Duran. Like he could play somewhere in the defensive backfield. You know what I mean? It's just he could. His guy's jacked and he's lightning fast, you know. But I don't think he ever.
I feel like
like right, but it's like in the NBA, you look at someone like LeBron, and you look at some of those big dudes, and you're like, yeah, that guy could probably play in the NFL somewhere as a tight end. You know, baseball was like
LeBron could not.
Yes, he did.
No, he couldn't. He's a pussy. He would take one hit from some linebacker.
There we go.
You
Hey, all right.
Yes!
How about that?
I've said it a bunch of times.
Five-star recruit. He's going to go to Ohio State.
Yeah.
For football.
And get hit a couple times.
LeBron.
Quit.
As a tight end.
Before his roids.
Yep.
Wow. All right. He definitely did roids. Stop it. But I think he's a pussy. I don't think he would get. That's probably why he played basketball. You think I say? Mike thinks I say it just to piss him off. But LeBron's a pussy. I don't care. And I don't think he can play. Bo Jackson, I think if he figured out how to skate, he would have been a 50 goal scorer in the NHL. He was that fucking good of an athlete.
Yeah, he was.
You know,
He was a freak, yeah.
he was just.
a freak.
like-
I think you'd find more like professional fishermen or golfers like in MLB probably. You know what I mean? These guys like fish their ass off.
Well, some of those.
Hunting,
For real?
Like, yeah, hunting, fishing. Like these guys are like get down to spring training and it's like they bring their gear in sometimes to like you know to the clubhouse. And I found this great pond. I'm like that's awesome.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, I got the kibbers in that thing. You know, I'm like sunfish. What do we got? What are we going for? You know, I don't know.
That's funny.
Well, baseball too is a sport that like you don't have to be in shape. Let's be honest, right? Especially
like,
pitchers.
Yeah, like they're usually the pitchers have like legs and ass, like they're just big, you know, shoulder strength, things like that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they're doing their exercise and
Yeah.
everything, but it's not a prerequisite. You
No.
know, I've seen some dudes that don't look all that impressive throwing the shit out of the ball.
Yeah, yeah.
David Wells.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Like Rich Garces, Wapo, love him.
I love
yeah.
Guapo. He was my favorite.
You know, but he's like some of those guys too are probably a little more athletic than you think.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Still, it's like
Like
not
Vince Wilfork,
David
right? Like,
Wil-
yeah.
I mean David Wells. You know?
Yeah.
Like you're just like the greatest body in the world, but he gets your ass out. You know.
Greatest no-hitter story.
Yeah. I know.
Did you ever face Randy Johnson?
I did. I hit a homer off him.
No kidding.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
That's
One
right.
of the most
That's
intimidating
right.
pitches I think I've ever seen. Yeah.
That's right.
That's awesome.
It's like I don't have like, you know, the home run log book. I got a pamphlet.
But that guy, you should remember. Yeah.
His ass is on it. I can tell you right now. I was in San Diego, Qualcomm. He was in Arizona. What's the year? 03. Early in the year, 03. I was traded there and then traded back to Boston at the end of 03. But in San Diego, I got to face him. And I hit a home run at Qualcomm. And I ran my ass off around the bases. Because he's a scary son of a bitch.
Yeah, right.
Like, he's nasty.
Yeah.
Let's stay him down, going
just
around the
like-
bases.
If he threw a slider, I would have spun. I think I was 1 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Because he's slider, strikeout, fastball, homer. Like, I was just guessing. I'm like, yeah, what am I going to do? Guy's like releasing the ball in my pocket. You know, like by the time he released the ball,
Yeah.
you're like this. I mean,
Yeah,
he's
he
a
was
monster.
insane. Yeah.
Yeah, he was. But that was fun. That was when I got my book. That's about it. But that's okay. I just enjoy that one.
You can say you hit one first at bat at Fenway
Yep.
as a Boston kid.
Yep.
and fucking Randy Johnson.
Yep.
I don't. Your book doesn't have to be any thicker.
No, and you know,
No.
I got a minor league home run. This one was probably the first special one. Was I was in Double-A with the Red Sox, spring training, and like the Sox were playing like the Yankees or Orioles or something in a big league game. So Clemens came down to throw against us in a minor league game, and they're like, Roger's throwing. We're like, Clemens? Yeah, I'm in Double-A, Boston, 86. So
Yeah.
Holy shit, this is gonna be awesome. And I hit a home run off him in a spring training game. And I was like, this is the best thing ever. It was crazy. Another one I ran really fast around the bases. Oh, that was awesome.
So Clemens and Johnson.
Minor leagues.
Yeah, but it's still Clemens.
I got a triple off Clemens at Fenway. I hit a triple off him.
All right. But it wasn't like Clemens was coming up with you. He came down.
Yeah.
To pitch. So
Well,
he's
it's
still
like-
Yeah, he's a
Clemens.
major league.
Yeah, like in spring, like I think they might have been playing like the Yankees, and he didn't want to face that lineup. Or
Okay.
he didn't want that lineup to see him. Right.
Right.
So they're like, you're not gonna throw in the big leagues.
Yeah,
spring
go
training
go
game,
throw.
down in the minor
Right.
leagues, and I think he pitched for like the Double-A, Triple-A team. And I faced him down. Got to face him there, so that was pretty cool.
That's
awesome.
Yeah, the Rocket.
And you did get you had mentioned, because we're a referee podcast, you did get thrown out of one game.
Did A-ball, Port St. Lucie, Phil Welke, the prick. No, Bill's a good man. It was like. It was just we were in A-ball. It was like my first year in pro ball, and he came up. He came up through the minor leagues with me, right?
Yeah,
A-ball, and the Double-A, the Triple-A, and the big leagues. And,
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, him and his brother Tim was up there too, and he's a great guy. But it was like you know what it was a hit and run. The guy threw a slider down and away, and I reached for it. Catcher came up, threw the second, called everybody out, right? Interference on me, which it was. But I was just like, Bill, what do you want me to do? You know, like I got to hit and run. I got to go out. Am I going to take it? They're gonna. Well, I don't know what to tell you. You know, we just jawing back and forth, and finally, I don't know, I was young, lost it, tossed me. First time I've ever been thrown out, Bill Welke. Yeah, then I saw him later. I'm like, you're the first. He's like, I remember that. I'm like, yeah, it's the only time I've been thrown out. It's you. How do you feel about that? You know? No, he's a good guy.
It's funny, like even you as like a player getting tossed, right? Even referees, like we don't toss everybody like every game, but you do remember a lot of them because they don't happen all the time, right? Like you think it's every game or something like that,
Well,
but it's
honestly,
not.
he's an umpire. He's
Right.
an A-ball.
Right.
So it's probably his first or second year umpiring.
Right.
So at that point, I might have been the only guy he's ever tossed.
It's not an easy thing to toss somebody either, right?
Yeah,
Like
I have no idea, but it was. I'll never forget it.
Did you have a favorite ump?
See, a lot of those guys that are coming up, I liked. I'm trying to think of some of the guys that I had. Like Welke's, like I said, I came up with him. So the guy Greg Gibson I came up with too, but I never thought he was a great umpire. I just really liked him.
Like you got like Joe West.
Joe was there with me. I liked Joe. Joe was like, I kind of liked him because he'd always kind of give you that little smirk. There were definitely times you're like, Jesus, Joe, like, do you even want to be here?
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like, you'd be at first base and there'd be a play and he'd be like, does that mean he's out? Yep. You know, like, sometimes you're like, okay. But a lot of those, I'm trying to think, there's a couple of guys that I really liked. I liked them so much, I can't remember their names right now. Getting old, too many concussions. But I got along with them pretty well, like a lot of times. Like I said, a lot of time maybe at second base shooting the shit with them.
Right.
You know.
Well, I just thought of this because you're standing at second base. Do you see how, like, guys joke around from other teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the Yankees, Red Sox back in the day. Mm-hmm. There was really no, hey, how's it going? Like, they fucking hated each other, right?
Yeah, if anything, it was like a little pat in the leg.
Yeah.
You know, like Jeter, Posada, Bernie, all these guys. You know, Giambi, whatever. You just kind of walk by. What's up, DJ?
Yeah.
Hey, Lou. You know, but it wasn't like.
Yeah,
you
like
know,
it is
like,
now, like they're hugging each other and shit.
Yeah,
like,
before the game out in center field.
Yeah.
Like, there's some of it. You know what I mean? But I felt like a lot of guys took care of that in BP. You know what I mean? Like in batting practice, behind the cage, they come up and talk to him. But when it was
game time,
there was still some of it. Don't get me wrong. But it's just a little different.
Yeah.
A little bit different now. I feel like guys move around more often too.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Free
That makes
agency.
sense.
Well, they work out more together in the off season.
Yeah.
That's a bigger thing. It used to be a thing back then, but I feel like now
Yeah.
everyone's at a facility and there's 15 teams represented, by two guys.
Yeah.
So, they see each other. And
Oh, there's certain
they work out
trainers everyone
together.
wants
Yeah.
to go to.
Yeah, you
so
see
now,
that in hockey
like,
too around
yeah.
here.
So
A lot of guys
trainer
work out
has like
together.
30 players.
Right.
10 different organizations. So you become pretty friendly with those guys.
Right.
So who do you want to make a World Series prediction? In fucking
I wish I could.
January.
Here's the thing. I'll say this. I wish I could, but like Kyle Tucker's still out there.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Bo
there's a lot of
Bichette, Farmer
yeah.
Valdez, Ranger Suarez, Bregman. Like, there's still some dudes.
I'd like to get Bichette. I would love for them to get Bichette.
Bo would be great. I play with his dad.
With Bregman, or instead, like
Bo and
they gotta
Bregman
get one of them.
would be like
But-
the perfect. I just don't know if you're gonna have a payroll of $310 million, like to get them both. Because I played with Dante for a year. I mean, I love Bo. I've known him, watched him come up and everything else. Plus he's 28.
Right.
Yep.
It's just that it just goes on forever. Like the season's wicked long, right?
Oh, yeah.
162 games.
Is it too long?
Probably, but money's involved.
Oh no, I know.
So once
I
you get
know.
162, you're never going backwards.
Right.
But the off seasons get longer. Like it's January, man, and like 7 of the top, 10, 12 free agents are still out there. It's like
It's wild how long they sit. Yeah.
God, like every other sport. The NFL, it's usually done before it even opens.
Right.
Right. Like the tampering period, all this stuff, and I just think because there's no salary cap, so it's like an open market.
Right.
So a team doesn't necessarily have a budget. Agents feel that way, and they're like, they say they're not going to spend anymore, but they're going to go after this player, and they're going to miss him. They're going to come back at you, and they're going to actually give you that 8th year. So it's like the agents just keep waiting for teams to get desperate or miss out on a guy, and then come back to you. And we've seen it in the past. It happens.
That's what I feel like. They're waiting for one shoe to drop, and then everybody else kind of fits in. It's like, all right, well, like you said, missed out on him. Let's go get him. Like I feel like that's what the Red Sox are doing right now.
Yeah.
They're just sitting. Here's our number, and boom. If we don't get him, we're getting him. If we don't get him, we're gonna get him.
Yeah,
they have a
it's
plan,
like-
which is good. But
The perfect example is like Bogarts. I thought he was going to come back. Say
did too.
6 years, something like this, and it might have been like a 7-year offer out there, right? You're like, I think he'd come back for 6, turned down 7 to stay here, and then all of a sudden the Padres, who offered like Trey Turner 10, 11 years, because he was their guy, Turner ends up signing with Philly. So all of a sudden the Padres turn around, and they're like, all right, we'll give you 11 years.
Yeah.
And Xander's like, okay.
Right.
So like
What's he
that's
supposed
an
to do?
example of like, all right, do I want 6 or 7? What am I looking for? And all of a sudden the team missed out on a player that they wanted, had a big hole, and now they turn around and they offer it to him. So that's why agents are like, hey, let this thing play out. If Bregman signs somewhere else, the Red Sox will give you more money because then they got to get you.
Right.
It's that's just how it works now. Which I don't know. It just takes too long.
I love Bogarts. Only a
Bogey's
Ruben,
great.
only a Ruben Major League Baseball player, and I
He's
love
fantastic.
Aruba. So,
there you go.
right?
Sidney Ponson.
Switch
Another
sports
one.
for a second because
Yeah.
it's the hot topic right now, and this'll drop before we find out who should be the MVP in the NFL.
Drake May should be.
Yes.
Right.
I think Stafford will be.
Yeah,
I think you're right, just because of the numbers,
Yeah, he's just. I
and he's never had it either.
Time of service is bullshit.
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
It's-
It's a legacy award, but it's not a lifetime achievement.
But it's like Drake just came so far out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Right? The national. It felt
Yeah,
that like it's just Stafford is having an MVP like year. Obviously his team the guys around him are better, we know that. But I just feel like he's been around the league forever and he's having a great season. It's him or a kid that's in his second year.
Right.
And they just sort of look at it like I would say this, that's what I think. I think Drake should be it. I think Stafford will win it. I think as a Patriots fan, I know everyone's pissed off about it.
Right.
But I'm just psyched that the guy's fucking
Good.
He's like one of the finalists. You know what I mean?
Right.
Enough. I know. Listen, we're greedy. I get it, but fuck,
No,
they got it right.
Right.
So that's awesome. as it is.
Right.
Yeah. It's
I agree,
frustrating
yeah.
because I think when you look at it, he has played better. His team won their division.
Mm-hmm.
And, he could add 40 touchdowns if he threw 2-yard passes.
Yeah, a lot of one-yard touchdowns.
Yeah. It's
And he
like,
threw, his deep
You
field
know?
accuracy numbers are off the charts.
well,
Like,
Mays,
it's so
he's
crazy.
done things
all
that
those stuff.
no one's done.
Well, that's the
Having,
thing that's crazy about him is usually when you're like, oh, this guy had 71, 72% completion percentage, it's all dink and dunks.
No, this
But
was
when you're also the best deep ball passer,
Yeah.
and you know what I mean,
Right.
it's like being a 3-point shooter and leading the NBA in field goals.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
Field goal percentage. You're like,
yeah.
what the hell? Is he that good? That he can do both.
Right.
And that's kind of where he was. It's like I said, maybe he wins it, but if he does, I know people are gonna be bullshit.
Right.
But I'll just be psyched that you hit. He didn't take 5 draft picks to find one.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
15 years.
Right.
I think it's just us in Boston.
Of course.
We're angry about everything.
I know.
We
I
just want
I have
something.
I have a Twitter account. Trust me, I'm well aware. Holy shit! Wow.
Get off the internet.
Yeah.
Like just the other day, like I swear to God, like yesterday, because I was just looking, I was at dinner and I was just bitching, right? Like I had my freaking gas bill, and I'm like, holy shit, Massachusetts, what the Christ? Like I got $200 worth of gas, it's $650.
Right.
So I bitched about it. I said something about whatever on Twitter, and some guy came back at me, started shredding me for like, yeah, whatever, you just carry the water, John Henry. And I'm like, what the fuck does that got to do with my gas bill? The Red Sox are cheap. Henry should sell. Breslow, he won't get anybody, but you keep bitching about your gas bill. I'm like,
What the fuck?
like seriously.
Yeah.
I think I tweeted back at him, I'm talking about my gas bill, dumbass. Like,
Nothing to do with the Red
and
Sox.
I really should tone it down and walk away sometimes, but like it's just pure anger over anything.
Yeah.
Like
Especially the Red Sox, and they equate you, I guess, with
Yeah.
the Red Sox.
And I'm
'cause
like,
not,
Okay,
Yeah.
I work at NESN. Like I call the games.
Yeah.
I'm not in freaking board meetings, and deciding who
I
to
don't make
sign and
decisions.
not to.
Yeah.
It was a gas bill. The guy shredding me, the Reds, everybody else. I'm like, Christ.
That's
hilarious.
what happens when the guys that call the radio have access to you. That's so like being a player in Boston and being in the media. Do you find it harder to be a player like with the Boston media or being in the Boston media?
It's funny because like I think the players, I can never imagine playing like with social media or cell phones. Like you can't go anywhere. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
someone putting a phone in your face, like you can't. Whatever. If you happen to stay out one night a little bit late, next thing you know, someone's got a video like, oh, he's out at so-and-so time of night and everything else. And then every troll in the universe, is like tweeting at you and DM, whatever.
Can't go to the strip club anymore in Duluth.
You can't do shit, right?
Vaughn would have had a
Yeah.
You would have had a tough time
Yeah.
with his cell phones.
Yeah, but it's like, it's funny, but like in the media, like especially with what I do, like I can't say a goddamn positive thing about anything. Or it just turns into, you're in bed, but it's
Yeah,
the
you're a
team. And
homer.
it's like, I like this is a good trade. Oh yeah, whatever. Like
Homer.
you're a homer, you're this, you're that, and you're like, all right, I won't say anything.
Yeah, because I kind of felt that I was a Bruins beat reporter for, even though I got a D in English in high school, for EEI for one season, and I felt like everyone who was a hockey writer, it was only negative stuff, and I was like, I feel like defending the players a little bit. Like I just felt like it was like you had to be negative.
And if you do, they put you in a category. Yeah. So it's a weird, it really is a weird dynamic. It was like I remember like years ago, I did sports radio, right? And then so you wake up and you're like, what's the negative angle? Because we got to get interest, we got to get phone calls. Yeah. If it's too positive, nobody gives a shit. Everything's going great, whatever. The craziest Red Sox time was September to 2011. The whole chicken and beer, like that was like it's only it's like 1 month of just baseball talk, right? Because everybody wanted to bitch about what was going on. And I remember at one point, like everybody was starting to do the podcasts, right? And the big thing was like the fan base. A couple of them that opened up right away were like too negative on the radio. We're gonna have one just that's positive, actually positive. It's okay to be positive. And so I'm like, all right, good luck with that. And now all those same ones are negative. All those same ones rip everything because they realize that positive doesn't sell. So we need to go the other route. We need to kind of rip everything, and that gets interaction, right? That's when it gets nasty and everything. So it's like, if you're on that side and you're like, Jeremy Duran's a good player. Holy shit. Like, honestly, I see someone write a positive tweet, I want to be like, good luck. The popcorn. I can't wait to see the note. Everyone's just like, oh, what do you mean they're going to be good? Like, I think they're going to be a good team. Good, what do you mean? Like, it's just, they attack.
What do you mean by good?
Yeah,
good. They're gonna make the playoffs.
They're no better. They're this. They're that. They're cheap fucks. Like they're that. Like sell the team. You're like, yeah, okay, whatever. All right.
And God forbid you mention your gas bill.
Yeah, I know. Now you mention a gas bill and everybody goes off on you.
Throw one out there about grocery bills.
Yeah, no shit.
Tomorrow, see what happens.
Can't believe eggs cost. Oh my God.
And all the political people will be jumping down your
I'd
throat.
say that's one thing I kind of did learn like a radio. Like,
Don't stay away from that, man.
there's just no win.
No, yeah, you'll
I mean,
just
it's
get
like,
crucified.
you get your own thoughts and beliefs, but it's like there's no win. You're gonna piss everybody off.
That's
There's
like
no-
comedy. I don't do any political humor because you're dividing a room. Like immediately,
Yeah.
half the room's going to be pissed at you.
Yeah.
And that's not exactly what you're looking for in comedy, right?
Right.
So I don't do
The
any
best at it
political
is
shit.
Bill Burr. He shits on all sides, on all angles. And
Yeah.
it's just he knows how to push all those buttons. Huh?
And then Bill Burr makes it your fault somehow.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, how?
Yeah, there's just no
He's not.
No, there's
no
no
reason to
winning.
go there.
No, there's no
And you're not
winning.
gonna convince anybody.
No.
Everyone's so done.
Like my brother-in-law works for the Patriots. He's like a writer. He does like the pre and post game with Paul Perillo, Mike Dussault. I don't know if you know him, but like he said the same thing about his position. He's media for the Pats. So
Yeah,
like
he's screwed.
Like so the players look at him as media, so they don't really like they kind of like, oh, I don't know, but like I work for the team. Like
Yeah.
I mean, like the team tells me what to say half the time,
yeah,
right?
and
But
then they
like,
say it and they get shredded.
Yeah, right.
Because it's too positive.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And
a
that
tough thing.
happened.
But
I
they're critical on the team with their breakdowns and gameplay.
Yeah.
But, like on that kind of stuff. But like more positive and like anything like controversial, they can't even go there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, they're not playing well. They're not playing well. They're
Right.
not like hitting the scoring position, or the starters suck, can't get through the fifth inning, bullpen's giving it up. Like, you talk about that.
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
But that's not
Controversial.
today, though. That's not like what
Right.
these people, a lot of people talk about.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
just turns into other shit that's like, Jesus, time to walk away. Like, this
Yeah.
doesn't even make sense anymore.
Right.
Get the hell out of here.
And it's tough because you work for NESN, who is owned by the Red Sox.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's kind of like there's that fine line where you can't really, sometimes you can't give your real opinion.
Yeah.
Because you're representing the
And
team
people-
that you're
it's-
criticizing.
It's funny because
know?
one time someone's like, when you ever like Rip Breslow or Sean Henry and Sam Kennedy tell John Henry to sell the team, and you're like, first off, I don't think you should, but let's just say I did, and let's just say I talked about it, and let's just say I got fired. You gonna come and hang out with me on the couch? What? Like, we're gonna be buddies now?
Yeah, right.
Or you're gonna be like, hey, good job.
Hey, way to go, way to tell
Dude, you got balls. You got balls. It's like, you idiots. Like, you really, I tell you what, why don't you do this? Why do you work? Why don't you walk into your boss, give him the double bird, tell him to fuck off and see how it goes. And then I'll be like, dude, you got balls. You're psycho. It's like,
What are you doing Saturday?
like these people, some of them are just idiots,
yeah.
So you try to be fair.
Right.
And I'll always try to be fair. Like, if they're not playing well, they're not playing well. The deadline last year was a fucking disaster.
It was.
The trade deadline.
Yeah.
Now, but the thing is like at the trade deadline, did you want Dustin May or Joe Ryan? I'm like, I wanted Joe Ryan.
Ryan.
But I have seen enough in a 2-month span. Dustin May could throw 10 starts together. So it's like, listen. I would have rather had Joe Ryan, right?
Right.
But let's just see what Dustin
What
May
happened?
can do. Well, 5-6 starts in, he wasn't throwing well, and he got hurt. So now when the season's over, you can look back and say, yeah, wasn't fucking good.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was a
Right.
disaster. But they want you to say it's a disaster day one.
Right.
And I'm like,
Right.
well, let's just see.
Right. It might work out.
Like the Red Sox
play out.
off season, it's like December. I'm gonna go to the winter meetings. We don't do shit. And like off season's a disaster. And I'm like, 8 of the top 10 free agents still out there. Let's just see. If
not
they don't
done yet.
sign anybody, and I'm down in Fort Myers, we'll be talking about how they didn't sign anybody.
Right.
And that's not good.
Right.
We could have did that last year, and then they signed Bregman, and then we're just kidding. Like
Right.
So it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll just
Just
see
wait
what
it
happens.
out.
I don't know.
See what
Still
happens.
got another couple months to go. Hopefully they get somebody.
Well, Lou, we appreciate
Yeah,
you. getting
anytime.
on.
This
was
This is, it's
Good
been great.
times.
Some baseball talk on the hockey podcast.
I like it.
When's Red Sox report? February 10th, 11th?
11th, I think, is pitches and catches.
Okay.
I think it feels like it's like a week early because they got the WBC.
Oh,
I think.
okay.
So they come a little earlier because then they're going to take
yeah.
off for like 2 weeks during camp. Team USA, all
World
that.
baseball.
all that
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
That's cool.
So it's a little bit early. I think I'll probably be down in Fort Myers like the 9th or something like that, the 8th, 9th. So,
Weather will be
little
better
more-
for you.
oh yeah,
Giddy
sure.
up.
It's my little break, a little 2-3 week break.
Yeah.
Trying to get some sun,
Jesus.
walk around.
Feel good
weather.
about, yeah.
Yeah,
This
little
weather's
break.
brutal.
It's tough
Yeah.
month.
Yeah.
Well,
Appreciate it,
looking forward-
guys.
Yes,
looking
thank you
forward
very
to
much.
another,
Awesome, man.
Awesome.
Another
Yeah.
season.
Good times.
Listen to you on the TV.
You got it.
We got Lou Merloni right here, Chirping Zebras. Sweet Lou. I mean, what a complete beautician. Just
What a-
awesome.
Great episode.
Yeah.
I think, lot of good stuff in there. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. And even though I was sitting across the room and working in the same hallway as Lou for like the past 10 years, I feel like that was the most we ever talked.
Well, you were in right field.
I was in
Like
right
you
field.
said, the coach stuck you in right field. I put you in right field. We put all the kids out there that can't catch.
he was great. I mean, he was great on the radio. He was great as the, color guy for the Red Sox. And, just the Boston guy through and through. It's awesome.
No, great stuff. All right. Well, that's going to do it. We want to thank our sponsors, the Referees Crease, Damon Financial LLC, Townshend Hockey. Want to remind you to like and subscribe on the YouTube. Smash that like and subscribe button. Also find us on the social medias, the Instagram, the Facebook, and of course,
The TikTok.
well done, Gino. And also want to thank AOA Studios for coming out, as they always do.
Yes.
And they do such a great job. And, up in Beverly, if you need anything, check out AOA Studios, because they are absolute rock stars.
Absolutely.
And without them,
They're growing.
this podcast wouldn't be where it is today. So I want to thank them, and also want to thank Harmon Golf in Rockland. If you, this place has a gym. They have golf course. They have a golf simulator.
Great food, great bar.
Food. Place has it all. So definitely come check out Harmon Golf, and they do a great job here. And so for Gino Bender Jr., for Josh Dolan, I'm Mark Riley saying so long. We'll see you next time on the Chirping Zebras.